Good morning, friends and foes. Welcome to Back of the Cereal Box, the pop culture podcast that celebrates the fun of the Saturdays of our youth. I am your host, the prophet of pop culture, John Pica. You can call me Johnny. And on this episode, we wrap up our series on Saturday Morning 101, the Saturday morning essentials from our youth, with a deep dive into the future world of the Jetsons. And we're going to do that right after this from the Murdering Crows.
It's like Coca-Cola, Levi Strauss, Johnny Carson and Mickey Mouse. The first star was James Dean, Elvis Presley and he's still the king. Some things are only imitatable. You can't beat an original. Oh, you can't beat an original.
Hey there, friends and foes. This is Back of the Cereal Box, the pop culture podcast that celebrates the fun of the Saturdays of our youth. I am John Pica, the prophet of pop culture. You can call me Johnny. Avengers comic books, Star Wars movies, and Saturday morning cartoons made me who I am today. And we are called Back of the Cereal Box because I am of a generation that did not have iPhones or tablets at the breakfast table on Saturday morning or any morning. And in between cartoons, comic books, and kaiju movies, we were reading the back of the cereal box, much bigger boxes than this one. But that was the back of the cereal box was our world. That was our portal. That was our newspaper and my portal into a lot of the pop culture that we talk about and love today. Comics, movies, cartoons, games, pro wrestling, you name it, a lot of it came off of the back of the cereal box, and that is what we are here to celebrate. And this morning, we're going to be talking about the Jetsons, along with my lovely co-hosts, the Peppermint Princess, the social media socialite, my emotional support Canadian, all the way from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, by way of the interwebs. It is the one, the only Willow Schuyler.
Morning.
Good morning, Willow. Willow, as you've already seen, I am eating an Apple Jacks mini, and you inspired me to get Apple Jacks because you were talking about the honey cinnamon Cheerios, and Dave Mattingly sent me some apple cinnamon Cheerios, and I loved them. I ate them all before I had a chance to do a review on the show. So I went and got some Apple Jacks to see how they compare. And do you know, I bought this at Walmart in a big variety pack.
Oh no.
And I just opened it this morning. I bought them last week. I opened it this morning and they're already stale. So I'm finishing them up. But what's in your bowl? Tell the people a little bit about who you are and what's in your bowl this morning.
I am Willow Schuyler. I am an aspiring broadcaster. Right now, I am eating Cinnabon cereal.
I got to get it.
It's really good. So yeah.
And you love Ninja Turtles.
I love Ninja Turtles. I love
Power Rangers. X-Men.
X-Men. Yep. I'm a superhero fan.
Well, so Willow, have
general.
you seen that I posted that the new X-Men 97 merchandise is hitting stores? That series is coming out this fall on Disney Plus. Are you?
Sorry, I'm being attacked by my cat right now, so just bear with me.
Well, while you're dealing with a screaming cat,
I'm so sorry.
So, are you excited about X-Men 97?
Yes. I am definitely gonna watch it. I am so happy that I have Disney Plus because it has been a godsend.
Next week, Ahsoka. I can't wait. All right. Also joining us in the virtual rec room, my friend and yours, She is a tremendously talented cosplayer, blows me away every week, the lengths that she goes to for this show. She's a talented actress and photographer. She is everyone's favorite ginger. You know what? Here's her new moniker. Your wife's favorite redhead. It is the one, the only, Aubrey Cavett. Good morning, Aubrey.
Good morning, Willow and John in the audience. Everybody out there on the webverse, how you doing this morning?
Doing good. Now, you are doing a cosplay this morning of
one of Judy Jetson's little, friends from school, right? Okay. We're going to make it youthful. We're going to throw on some silver and a belt that looks like it could go on forever.
I
And
love
then
this.
also because Judy was a huge fan. Come on, guys. You got to remember back in the day when Judy got to see the Flintstones. So,
That's
of course, she would be a fan.
fantastic.
I love that shirt.
And Aubrey, what is in your bowl this morning?
Ooh, I didn't even pour it. I'm so hungry. Stayed up really late making another costume. I'm not going to lie, that princess dress is last minute. But
So Aubrey is holding up a box of Wendy's Frosty cereal from Kellogg's, I believe. Is that right?
Oh,
yes,
Yeah.
it is. It is from Kellogg's.
I'm going to
And
be interested to see. Okay, I'm going to bring you up here center stage. Oh,
You get a free Frosty.
Everyone
Ooh.
screenshot that and
yes,
scan
there
it
you go.
to
Hold
get
on.
your free Frosty, courtesy of back of the cereal box. Yeah. So I
There
don't
we
know about
go.
you,
Oh.
but a lot of Frosty facts, Wendy's facts on the back. So that's kind of
Mhm.
cool. You can read the trivia as you
Mhm.
enjoy your bowl of cereal. Now, did that come from
Ooh.
Ollie's?
You saw the orange sticker.
Listen. I am obsessed with
I went looking for
Ollie's.
toys. I won't lie.
I go to Ollie's maybe twice a week because you never know what they're going to have and when
That's
they're going to
true.
have it. So
Okay, so
she's got the Wendy's Frosty, and
never try this.
you pour the milk first.
Okay, I'm a weirdo. Okay, wait, are we doing this?
No,
Are we
no.
doing
This is a debate. But hold on. So, we need to ask the question of Aubrey, what's in the bowl? And she's got Wendy's Frosties, and as we just saw, she pours the milk first and then pours the cereal in. And this is a debate, Aubrey, whether there's a right or wrong way to do it. Because I'm cereal first and then milk.
Yep.
You're the norm. Apparently, there's a lot more of you than there are of me. I'm a minority in the milk first in the bowl category.
All right. So let's see how this tastes. Does it taste like a Wendy's Frosty? Because a Wendy's Frosty has a very distinct taste, and I love Wendy's Frosties. I've had this cereal about a year or two ago, and I have my own opinions about it, but I'm curious to see what you think. She's going in for a second one.
Sure. Oh.
It's so weird because okay. Kicks, all the other puffy cereals. You get this like hard crunch on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Barely hard on the outside, and then it just kind of dissolves.
That sounds like it's stale, like my Apple Jacks.
Really?
Yeah, maybe it's maybe there's like a cereal staleage problem in America.
No, it's just 2024, so maybe, or maybe it's because of the ingredients. You know, guys, the more natural the ingredients, the less likely it is to say preserved long. So
yeah, there's no natural ingredients in that. Now, here's my question though, Aubrey. When I had this a couple of years ago, a year or so ago, I had a very distinct opinion. But what do you think? Does it taste like a Wendy's Frosty?
Okay, I think if you eat it with the marshmallows and cold milk, it does.
Okay.
My opinion.
I thought it was a complete lie. I really did. And Aubrey, if you will do one thing and just move your mic about an inch closer to your mouth if you can. Give
I
me a
do
check one.
wonder though if they just repackaged the Tim Hortons mocha cereal.
So
Ooh. Can you
maybe
hear me better?
yes, yeah. We were just getting a lot of echo off your mic. So little broadcaster pro tip for everyone. The closer you are to the mic, the less echo you get from your own mic. As you get further away, it picks up more of the ambient room noise. So the closer it is, the better. That's your podcasting tip of the day, courtesy of Johnny. Ta-da! So you think, Willow, they may have repackaged the Tim Hortons, or in the U.S. that's the Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
I don't think they're the same. I thought the Wendy's Frosty was a decent chocolate, but it didn't taste anything like a Frosty to me. So I thought it was a complete lie. But anyway, so there is your cereal tip of the week on a scale of 1 to 5 bowls. Aubrey, what would you give it?
Ooh, in comparison to the one I had, the berry one, I would say this is a 4 out of 5.
Okay. All right. My Apple Jacks this morning, I'm going to give a 3 out of 5 because they're stale. They taste delicious, but they were not fresh. And I just bought them. I'm so upset. Willow, on a scale of 1 to 5 bowls, what do you give Cinnabon cereal?
I'm going to give it a 5 because it's really good. And it's definitely something that I'd like to keep in my cupboard on a regular basis.
That is awesome. So we've got some viewer comments, some audience comments. We're going to go through these. Starting with Cartoon Commotion, Kate Hawkins says, "Hiya, friends. Happy Saturday. Excited for this Jetsons conversation. We're excited for it too. And if you guys have not checked out Cartoon Commotion, you guys, he shared his new trailer with us today. Unreal. Cade, you are quickly outgrowing our network, and it's time to go talk to MeTV or a cable network. I'm just telling you, you're producing unbelievable work. You need to check it out, everybody. Dave Mattingly is with us, says, "Happy early birthday, Ginger." Wait, now, you are a ginger, but is that have you ever been called that as a nickname? What do people call you? They just call you beautiful.
I've had a few friends call me Red, but
I do.
No, it's Anne. I went by Anne for a little while.
Okay. That's how I refer to you when I see you. I say, "Hey, Red." I love it. I love it. Eli T. Cash says, "Them facts be frosty."
Ooh.
On the back of your Frosty cereal box. And Dave Mattingly says, "The back of the cereal box, pirating Frosty coupons since 2023. That's right. That's right. Well,
started here.
Anyone can walk through the cereal aisle and just scan it right off the shelf. So, there you go. You're welcome. Zentron says, "Hello, just got back from a historical site tour."
Ooh.
And Cartoon Commotion, Cade Hawkins says, "I usually don't even use milk. Occasionally, I'll drink milk with my cereal." So he likes it dry. He prefers it dry. I like it with cereal, with milk. I'm not a dry cereal guy. And Eli T. Cash makes an obscure reference. This Eli T. Cash's life is an obscure reference. He says, hashtag Brad Pitt. Come on, man. What's in the bowl? I don't get it. I don't know what that's a reference to. Context, Eli. You gotta give me context. Is it 7? I've not seen 7. Is it worth seeing?
It's a good movie.
Yeah. Aubrey, have you seen 7?
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen it. But it's violent, isn't it? It's like about 7 demons from hell kind of thing.
The 7 sins.
The 7 seals of the apocalypse.
People.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I got you. Okay. 7 sins. 7 deadly sins. All right. Eli T. Cash says about Wendy's Frosty cereal, lies. Oh, wait. Cartoon Commotion. Kate Hawkins says, but Johnny, you never froze the cereal. No, I haven't. Just kidding. That probably won't change anything. It could. That's...
It's worth a shot.
Yeah. Eli T. Cash says, Kellogg's. Hello, Winnipeg PD. What is PD? Police Department. Willow knows too much. What?
What? Regarding my statement on them packaging up their cereal to be other things. Wouldn't surprise me if that's what they actually do.
I missed something, but that's okay.
The conspiracy theories.
Matthew Mosley joins us for the first time this morning. Rice Krispies is the best cereal in my opinion. All right, so I love Rice Krispies. And it was a choice this morning between Apple Jacks and Rice Krispies. Because I bought a big variety pack. A big one. And there's a reason I use the cereal in my show Beyond Smoke and Mirrors, but I use the small packages. Matthew, you'll see today. And so I was debating Rice Krispies, but if you really want like next level Rice Krispies, Matthew, the cinnamon sugar Rice Krispies.
Ooh.
Oh, it is a religious experience. And guess what? Ollie's in Gallatin has them on sale right now for $1.99 a box. So
you know where to go for those now.
You're welcome. Dave Mattingly says, Aubrey, the ginger goth.
Oh, so thank you.
You've not done goth clothing on this show. So it's an interesting statement. He must be stalking you on social media.
Well, I'm glad somebody noticed.
But Aubrey, you do these great cosplays every Saturday morning just for this show. Last week, you created from whole cloth the most obscure character from Thundar the Barbarian just for the show. I was blown away. And when we went to Bowling Green Comic and Anime Show, people didn't know who she was cosplaying as, but they didn't care. They were like, that's an awesome costume. And she had to explain who it was, but that was part of the fun, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then she did the Dungeons and Dragons character, and everyone immediately knew who that was. And most people, Aubrey, thought you were cosplaying as the cartoon character from Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes, that's who I was. Yep.
It was awesome. And Sandra Noel says, hashtag redheads rule. Yes, they do. Redheads rule and make me drool. This is a true story. Matthew Mosley says, I'm absolutely digging that jacket, Johnny. Wait, my jacket or Aubrey's jacket? Aubrey's jacket is awesome. And Aubrey looks like she could be part of the cast of Beyond Smoke and Mirrors. That's what my performance partners wear. You met Deborah Cadabra. She had the whole Cyndi Lauper Madonna vibe going on.
Yeah, she's on our interview from the con. Check that out, guys.
But I'm not wearing a jacket. I'm actually wearing a onesie. And this is a what do you call it? Chewbacca onesie. So we're gonna do this.
So funny. That's what I thought it was.
And it's got a bandolier. But you know what, Aubrey? They totally missed an opportunity with this.
Right?
You would think they would put a pocket in this.
That's a perfect pocket placement.
There's no pocket. There's no pocket.
Hole.
There's no pockets in this thing. And it is a little bit tight. They said, one size fits all. One size.
I never believed that.
One size fits most.
Mm.
But I am an extra large. and this is probably a large. So it fits, but it's a little bit snug in the shoulders for the most part. It is stretching out a little bit, so maybe that's all it really needs. But so thank you, Matthew. And
One size fits most teenage boys, I
yeah,
should say.
Dave Mattingly says, Eli, fortified with 7 vitamins and minerals. Dave, you have no idea how close to the truth you are about this. No idea. By the way, Eli T. Cash is the writer and artist on one of the Tales of the Decoverse series called Wenches and Wormholes. And this weekend, we're going to be posting his updated art on our Impossibilists Patreon page for the Tales of the Decoverse series. So if you're a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/impossibilists, you are going to see his work in progress. It's amazing. Amazing. And let's see. We got a couple more comments, and then we're going to go to some new loot. Zentron says, Pretoria Pit, place where 344 miners died in a mining disaster. Is that where you went today, Zentron? Why would you want to go to the site of something so horrible? Anyway, Sandra Noel says 7 is darkly grisly awesome. You know, it is Brad Pitt in that, right?
Yep.
You know, I actually like Brad Pitt a lot. He's one of the coolest people to ever walk the planet. I probably need to watch that movie. I'm just not a horror movie fan. I'm not a true crime, like that whole CSI Criminal Minds kind of thing. That's not me. So that's why I've never watched that movie.
He does an awesome job in pretty much anything he does. Like,
yeah, my
I'm
favorite.
Surprised. Sorry, go ahead.
My favorite Brad Pitt role is Ocean's 11, the Ocean's movies. But you're surprised by what, Willow?
I'm surprised he's not more in more movies as of late. Like, I don't know. I guess he's had his run, but I don't know. When he's being a dad. He's
busy being a dad. He made his movie. He's busy being a dad. And Sandra Noel said, still loyal, enjoying the waffle crisp return here. Yes. So you guys, I need to put this on my list to do a taste test, because waffle crisp cereal is one of the top 5 cereals of all time. All time. And so Andrew Milden says, forget the viewer comments. Let's get to the new loot. All right.
Yeah, I agree. Let's listen to Andrew. I want to see the stuff.
We've got so many comments. So many comments. So yes, this is the part of the show, because when we were kids, we would get up and we would, turn on the TV, would pour the bowl of cereal, and then we would reach into the box and pull out the new loot. Now, we've got to acknowledge, before we do this, that New Loot is sponsored by the Murdering Crows, who did our awesome theme song. And you can get their album 4 Bad Crows at iTunes, Google, or anywhere you buy music. And it is also sponsored by my book series, Tales of the Decoverse. I just mentioned that. And Eli T. Cash's Wenches and Wormholes will be a part of the series, coming out soon. And so it is time to reach into the cereal box and pull out our new loot. And Aubrey, you look like you're queued up and ready. You look like you are ready to reach into that box, so we will let you go first.
Okay, so I usually have some kind of like comic or a toy or something like that. But this time I have this cute little item that no one can get in their cereal box unless they go to a specific person.
Aww.
Look at her. I got a Rosie doll. So
this is perfect.
Like, she made this. The little earpieces move. Okay. She is adorable. and she's got her little bow in the back. Okay, so check out Etsy, Rissa Rue Creations. She's a good friend of mine, and this was her donation to the podcast and also my birthday. So thank you very much, Rissa, out there
That's
in the universe.
fantastic. Send me
And
the
yes,
link and I will post it in the show notes. That is
definitely.
phenomenal. Willow, you got anything to show off this morning?
I raided the dollar store
Uh-oh.
for some art supplies. I got inspired to do some painting. I'm trying. I want to try to see if I can, dot paint and stuff like that. So this is one creation that I made with a combination of puff paint and dollar store glue paint. I'm not sure.
Now, did you create that from, or is that like a template that you just?
It's a already printed
Okay.
decoration, and so
All right.
cute.
that.
It's very cool though.
And then there's my fox that kind of went awry.
Wait, is there a hole in the fox's head?
Yes, there is. It's supposed to be a hanging
gotcha.
decoration. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, but he is kind of cute. He's got a little sparkle to him.
So yeah, I'm trying out a few new things, and then we'll see how this turns out.
Ooh.
All right, very cool.
Later. So yeah, that's me being trying to be creative.
Very cool. Well, last Saturday, Aubrey and I went to the Bowling Green Comic and Anime Show, and I'm not one who spends a lot of money at a con. The onesie came from the con. It was a gift from Blake Wilson, my right-hand man. But only $15. She only had $15 marked on this thing. But then look, there was a vendor there who caused quite a stir because he had a huge booth and everything in his booth was $5. Now, this is a vendor that every time I see him at a con, he always has something that I want at the right price. Well, he had an entire booth at the right price, and it was ticking some other people off that he was selling the stuff for $5, because there was another booth right across the way who had the same stuff, like same figures, at $40. And they're like, why is he, how? I had to spend some money. And I picked up for $5 the Black Series Reva, the Inquisitor Reva from the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. And she's got 3 lightsabers, actually. She's got the connected double lightsaber, and then she's got the 2 split, so it splits apart. So very cool. I like this character. This was an original character for Kenobi, and I really liked her story arc. And I collect the villains, quote unquote, and I collect the women of Star Wars. So this was like a double whammy, and you can get this at Walmart right now for $24, but I got it at the con for $5. $5, but that's not all. There's more. And there's actually a whole lot more, but I'm just going to show 2, also for $5.
Oh, yes.
Black Series.
That's a good one.
Leia as Bosch. I don't think I ever saw this in stores, and he had it for $5. And this is one of my favorite character designs in all of the Star Wars movies. I love the Bosch helmet, the design, and I loved that it was Leia in disguise. Everything about this character I really loved as a kid. Return of the Jedi, she frees Han Solo from the carbonite. Spoiler alert. But this is, I had never seen this in the stores, and the previous attempts to do this figure were pretty awful. But look at the face sculpt on that. She is absolutely beautiful. This is a figure worthy of Carrie Fisher's legacy.
Yes.
So $5 had to have it. There you go, Andrew Milden. Ta-da!
It's funny that you show that. My husband a couple of weeks ago bought me the Kenner version of it.
The vintage or the retro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
These are all of the Star Wars toys are made by Hasbro, but there's a vintage line that has the Kenner
The Kenner
stamp
logo
on it.
on it.
Yeah. So just like when I was a kid in 1978. Anyway, it is time for our main topic. It is time for Saturday Morning 101, where we talk about the essentials of Saturday morning. And this segment is brought to you by nightlyspirits.com. If you are into ghost stories and history, check out nightlyspirits.com. You can use my promo code JohnP667 and book a haunted tour in any of the cities in North America that they operate and get 10% off your ticket. And if you're in Nashville, book it with me, and I will take you from haunted location to haunted location and tell you the historical stories behind it. But it is time for Saturday Morning 101. And ladies, this morning we are talking about the Jetsons. And
Woohoo.
I posted online that I kind of look at the Jetsons almost as the forgotten stepchild of Hanna Barbera. This is a show that everyone remembers fondly, but really nobody talks about it. When's the last time you had a conversation about the Jetsons? Let's be honest here.
I like the Jetsons. I've talked about the Jetsons before. I'm not gonna lie. When I was a teenager, I was so obsessed with it that I wanted to design one of their electronics.
Really? Okay. Well, so here's an interesting, at least I consider interesting. I didn't realize that this show came out in 1962 is when it originally aired. And it was created as a counterpart to the Flintstones. Now, the Flintstones obviously lived in a world which was a comical version of the Stone Age, machines powered by birds and dinosaurs, and the Jetsons lived in the space age with elaborate robotic contraptions, aliens, holograms, and whimsical inventions. But it was canceled. It was canceled after the first season. And it moved to Saturday mornings where it became a hit. But it was originally aired as a primetime series with, opposite of the Flintstones. And it was created in color, but it was broadcast in black and white for the first two seasons. So the first season in primetime, the second season on Saturday mornings in black and white. And Saturday mornings where went on to become successful. Now, for those of you unfamiliar with the Jetsons, this is the space age story of George and Jane Jetson, their boy Elroy, daughter Judy, and their dog Astro. Now, Astro was voiced by the same actor who did Scooby-Doo.
Mm-hmm.
So you had Rowdy Raggy to Ruh-Roh George.
Yep.
I mean, that's a huge range. That's a big transition for any voice actor to do. So anyway, this show followed the exploits of this space age family. George was kind of this, working stiff, this 9-to-5 schlub, kind of like Fred Flintstone, white collar, but blue collar pay. And they lived in this post-apocalyptic world where everything floated on air because the earth was destroyed. Their sports were played by robots. Jane did remote virtual calisthenic classes. They got food from a fast food auto, what today
The
we
food
would call
eradicator.
an automat. They put in, you see the punch cards.
Mhm.
Flying pizza. What in the world is a flying pizza? I'm afraid to ask. And of course, every need was attended to by Rosie, their robot maid. And this show really, really kind of was prophetic, because a lot of the stuff that we saw, especially in the last 10 years, but especially in the last 3 years, with virtual meetings, remote work, have really come true through, since, through the pandemic. And the Jetsons kind of predicted it. Now, there are restaurants that you go to and your food is delivered by a robot. Has anyone encountered that yet?
No.
Highway 55 here in Gallatin. Your food is brought out to you by a robot.
What?
It's wild.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go.
And how many of us, I mean, we're doing this show virtually and remotely before we're doing what Jane was doing. How many of us do Zoom meetings and virtual meetings and virtual broadcasts? Now, the one thing that has not changed is the handyman. This is Mr. Cogswell, and he's the handyman. And in our world, if anything breaks down, we got to call someone to fix it, and he was the guy. But the reason everything, they were in flying cars, and you guys know we have a flying car coming by the end of this year. It's been approved.
Oh, yeah, they've been working on that stuff for a long time.
Yeah, it's been approved for mass production, and the first one's going to roll off the assembly line in 2024.
Don't allow Elon Musk to buy out the company. Please, for the love of God, don't allow Elon Musk to buy out the company. Call it X.
Oh gosh.
Well, he'll have his own out. Tesla will be in the market to compete.
Oh yeah. He'll have his own line. So,
all right, hit us, Aubrey.
I have to say that I've always been a fan of the Jetsons. Oh, look, putting up the clip.
Yeah, I love this character sheet.
I do too. That's
can I
cute.
just say that both Jane and Judy are, I mean, they're rather attractive. That was kind of a hallmark of the Hanna Barbera shows, because even Wilma and Betty, they were pretty hot mamas. So they knew how to appeal to the masculine gender. Let me just say that.
Yeah, the Hanna Barbera did like their Coke bottle figures. Quite
Yes.
frankly. Yeah. I think that's just everywhere with them. They had they had fashion too. That's one of the things that I loved about it. Each show that they created, they didn't really riff off of it too much when it came to, you could tell which show you were watching by the clothes. You couldn't do it by the sound. You couldn't do it by the music. It was all 70s. It was all fun. It was all similar sounds. But you took one blink and you knew, well, at least some of us knew, what show, if you were watching Jabberjaw, you knew, if you were watching the Jetsons or the Flintstones, there was no mixing these guys up, similar situations, funny, awkwardness, music and backgrounds. Yeah, we had the similar scores and stuff. And the voice actors, they kind of changed them out here and there. But you could always tell by the fashion. The other thing is the buildings. We just did Thundar, and in Thundar, you see all that old history from America existing everywhere throughout the whole story. But then in the Jetsons, a lot of their architecture was actually inspired by 1940s California. So, I mean, it is futuristic. It is the Googie architecture. So back then it was huge. It was all over California, and they would look out their windows at the Hanna Barbera artist section, and there were these buildings that were all over this downtown area. Right? Apparently, the HB office overlooked like a lot of downtown California area, and they had a particular coffee shop called, there you go. They had a particular coffee shop called Johnny's Coffee Shop. Same style. Norm's Restaurant, the Downey, old McDonald's, the old McDonald's guys, you know, very futuristic. And if you look way, way back in Cali, the LAX building, the LAX building, the LAX themed building, sorry. It was very futuristic. There was these, you know, the giant circles that they had in everything. Like it felt like it was hovering. That was like huge. The whole show, you watch the Jetsons, googie architecture everywhere. Everything is just everything. Another thing that I wanted to mention is that the theories that a lot of people have about, you know, the Jetsons and money, they were an average family, like middle class and lower. Like they were like, he was a blue collar worker.
Yeah.
So like it was kind of tacky for you to have to push a button all day long, like that poor little finger. Okay, Jetson makes a big deal throughout the whole series about his poor little finger, and that's the rival, by the way, of Spacely Sprockets. Cogsworth is actually the rival.
That's right. I was thinking of this guy. I've got I had an image. Oh, it's gone. Where'd
it's
it
okay.
Go? Oh, no, here.
There he is. Nope, he's not in there. He's not in there.
I thought the handyman was in there. I have an image of the handyman.
Yeah, so he was the handyman that provided Rosie with her boyfriend. So
yeah,
he
but Cogswell was Spacely's rival.
Yes, arch nemesis, definitely. I wouldn't even call him just. If you guys watch that show, you want some down and dirty drama. I mean, Cogsworth was a naughty man,
and
by the espionage by the day.
By the way, so Willow, while I'm showing these, if you could do a quick search for a picture of Mel Blanc, Blanc. Mel Blanc did the voice of Spacely Sprocket, the short, mustachioed man. But let's just appreciate this for a minute, Aubrey. This is a picture of George O'Hanlon, who played George Jetson.
Yeah.
He looks like the voice of George Jetson. He looks like George Jetson sounds. And this is Penny Singleton, who did Jane. She looks like Jane. That's
it's really
kind of a rare thing.
It's really interesting because they weren't the original actors that were chosen for the roles. There were two different actors that were chosen for the roles besides them. They actually, a little bit of drama. They actually sued Hanna Barbera. The original two actors were supposed to be Maury Amsterdam and Pat Carroll. And they were
Pat Carroll, really?
Mm-hmm. And they were the two original choices, and they were already in contract. And they were looked over because they had another job already, and the two companies didn't want to fight, but at the same time they didn't want to argue, so they were just like, we'll hire somebody else. So they broke contact with both of these people, and we got two different. We would have had a totally different Jane, a totally different George. And I feel like this is where it comes years later when we see all these weird changes that were last minute that no one really paid attention to, because we were kids, most of us, and the adults were like, it's a cartoon. One of the huge things that people forget is, like you said, in 1962, when this came out, there was I think it was 15% of Americans had a color TV. 15%. I mean, yeah. Sorry, 3%. 15% was later on. In the mid 70s, when they right before they started running it again in the 1980s, they started making it a staple. But 3%, and some people, like you said, couldn't get the color. Like if you weren't an ABC affiliate, if your network that was local to you wasn't affiliated with ABC, no color Jetsons for you. Mm-mm. Yeah,
well, we take this for granted that everything is in color, but I mean, look, as a kid, even into high school, I had a black and white TV in my room.
Did you really?
13-inch black and white TV. That was like the peak of status when I was a kid.
Having a TV in your room, as a kid, even now, guys, flat screen or enormous, we all know if you have one in your room, you're kind of the bomb.
Yeah.
Even in the 80s, we had in my house, we had a black and white TV that I think my grandparents gave us.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It was the 80s. So, yeah, a lot of people take that for granted. Now, um, we do need to mention that the show, lasted from 63 to 64 on Saturday mornings. The first season was 62. 1962 kids. And then new episodes were produced for syndication in 1985 through 1987 for Saturday morning. And then no further specials or episodes of the show were produced until after 1989 until 1990. The film Jetsons the movie served as the series finale to the TV show, although it failed to receive critical or commercial success. Nobody saw that. Nobody went and saw Jetsons the movie.
It was
I
big on
didn't.
VHS.
What's that?
It was big on VHS.
Yeah.
Probably. But as a theatrical release, it was total bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Now here's where I love this because I complain every week about a lot of the Hanna Barbera's missed opportunities for crossovers and cross promotion. Scooby-Doo has done it the best, but the Jetsons did meet their opposites, the Flintstones, in a movie. Jetsons meet the Flintstones. And, it is my opinion that the Flintstones is actually the far post-apocalyptic future of the Jetsons. So if we put this into a cartoon timeline, I think the Jetsons is what happened right after the Earth was cracked in half and destroyed. We see it in the opening sequences of Thundar the Barbarian. And you remember it takes 2,000 years for the world to be reborn. And so Jetsons takes place between Thundar or it takes place before Thundar, and then Flintstones takes place after. No, probably before Thundar. That's my theory. But anyway, Flintstones are the post-apocalyptic future, and here's my evidence for this. Fred and Wilma, they and even Betty, they look a little bit, concerned about the robot here, the machine, but they're not like freaked out. It's not like, oh wow, this is unbelievable. There's like some kind of recognition in their eyes, like, George, this is what brought us to this state. The robots rose up and so I think that's what's going on here. They're not surprised by the future tech. They're concerned about it. Now, the Jetsons did cross over recently with WWE.
So funny.
I have not seen this show or this movie. I didn't know it existed until this week. But here we have Sheamus and Seth Rollins, and I think that's Roman Reigns over Sheamus's shoulder. By the way, Aubrey, did you know that Sheamus lives here in Nashville?
I did not.
Yeah, and he is a regular customer of Rick's Comic City in Donaldson.
Oh wow, that's really close. Yep. Yeah.
And there we have Naomi and the Usos. So this is relatively recent, and I haven't seen it. If anybody else out there has seen it, I would love.
I didn't know that they brought it back.
Yeah,
it's just for this. It's just for this. Yeah. But there are talks. There have been talks, honestly. In the research that I did, there have been talks since 2003 about like serious talks about these things happening. We've got Adam Shankman that they've talked about, working with the screenwriter Adam F. Goldenberg, dropping names over here. Then 2012, they were talking about Lieberman, Robert Rodriguez, Evan Susser, Van Robichaux. Like they've been talking with people, and ABC 2017, ABC announced they wanted to create a sitcom version of the show. So this has been going on for a while. Like Jetsons is in touch, but also antique. You know, that's the time that we're in. We're so close, like you said, to the flying cars. We have the moving sidewalks. We have robots that bring you food. We have, drones that bring us our mail and whatever we want to order. I mean, come on, and then we've got filters. Come on, guys. Who hasn't used one of those filters? Okay. So in one of the first episodes of the Jetsons, Jane's gonna have to talk to her friend, live chat, video chat, mind you, video chat. Like we didn't even think about that when we were little, like video chat. Ha ha ha. Now we're doing it. She's got this mask on. She can't even talk to her friend because she just woke up. The mask is like a silicone that like adheres to your skin. It looks and moves like it's part of your face, but then if you sneeze, it kind of like blows off your face. And all I could think was the times I've tried to use a filter and like the eyebrows move. And you're like, what's going on?
That's funny. That's funny. Now, I hope they don't do any kind of live action Jetsons. I think that would be
I
a
agree.
disaster. Guys, Hollywood, quit trying to reboot and reimagine classic IPs. One of the reasons why the Barbie and Oppenheimer has been so successful is they are IPs that one, the Oppenheimer story hasn't been told on that scale before, and there's never been a big budget Barbie movie. Everything's been animated or direct to video, so it's original, it's fresh. Hollywood, keep it original and fresh. Do a new animated series. I'm all for that. Do a new series on Cartoon Network or Max or whatever it's called today, Boomerang, but don't do a live action. It will be horrible and a disaster.
Okay, Willow, what's your opinion? If they redo the Jetsons,
I just keep it animated. Just
Yeah.
keep it animated because the live action, I don't know if that'll translate well. The sets will, I don't know. Just I mean, okay, so Johnny had already showed the pictures, but in my city we have the Jetsons apartment, although it's more of a medical facility called the Winnipeg Clinic. This thing was built in the 70s, and
so
it still has like the 70s, 80s decor.
Well, so the 70s and 80s, Willow, was actually a throwback to Art Nouveau and Art Deco from the 30s and 40s. So everything old is new again. And so we're seeing a lot of 80s revivalism, which is actually 40s and 30s and 40s.
Because everything comes back, man.
Yeah,
Everything comes back.
Yeah. So Dave Mattingly supports this theory. Johnny, how else would the Flintstones have a Christmas tree? Exactly. Because the Flintstones takes place BC, before Christ. And the only way they would have a Christmas tree is if they knew. So, golly, we have so many comments. Andrew Milden says, this is amazing. Yes, it is. You're welcome. Now, I want to show off a couple of things here. One of the things I've always been mystified by is the absolute lack of Jetsons merchandise. There was a Jetsons board game produced by Milton Bradley or Parker Brothers, Milton Bradley. But can we appreciate for a minute the Jetsons paper dolls?
Oh
Willow,
my God, they're
Aubrey,
so cool.
Did you ever get into doing paper dolls?
I did, but I did not have the Jetsons, and now I'm super jealous.
Yeah, those look fun. There was several comic book series, Harvey Comics Classics. DC recently did a series of Cartoon Network adapted. This is Flintstones and the Jetsons, but I want to say that the Great Gazoo from the Flintstones plays directly into my Jetsons Flintstones connection theory. And here is the Jetsons comic, issue number 14. I never saw these, and now I want them. I have a feeling the Jetsons probably read really great in comic book form. And but here recently, this is like 5 years ago, DC Comics did an updated comic series of all of the Hanna Barbera IPs. My favorite is Scooby Apocalypse, where the Scooby Doo and the gang are fighting a zombie monster apocalypse. Is fantastic. But this is the realistic hyper Jetsons comic, and this is Jane
Ooh.
Jetson.
What? What?
But
What?
looks like
Interesting.
she's fighting the robots from the Matrix.
Oh.
Yeah, I need to read this because that looks amazing.
It really
Interesting.
does.
So let's do a couple of comments here before we do. Aubrey, any other facts that you need to share with us?
Oh, no, I just want to keep in mind if you guys haven't seen this series, you should check it out because there are a lot more similarities with our modern day reality than we might like to admit. Jetsons was very prophetic and it was very funny. There's everything from, robots going haywire to normal everyday issues with teens to, little boys and their dogs and their fathers spending time together to, like the stress of being an adult and paying bills, everything in between, silly situations, but also like, there's a lot of in-depth things that you guys can find out just by watching there and seeing the influences of the past. Like, so I'm just serious, especially the Jetsons movies, Jetsons and the Jetsons Meet the Flintstones, because those two I think I saw like a dozen times when I was a kid.
Now, Aubrey, when you were doing your research, did you come across any ages? Like, did they release any of the ages of the characters?
Johnny's got his hand up.
No. I'm checking my mic.
Okay,
My
yeah.
mic disconnected.
So it was a little iffy on the ages. If anybody has got any more details about that.
Okay. Because there is a comedy skit out that of a comedian that talks about the age of the Jetsons, and so he mentions that that Judy's 16, Jane is 33, George is like 30 something, and when if you look back to when the George and Jane got together, how old do you think it was that when Judy got conceived?
Yeah, Elroy's supposed to be 4. That's the thing that disturbs me the most. Okay, that's the only thing I would say about their ages. After that, I kind of went, you know what? I'm going to back away from this part.
Wait,
Yeah.
Elroy is 4? I always thought he was like 10.
In the episode, he says he's 4.
Well, he's a very intelligent, well-spoken 4-year-old.
Somebody in the audience, help us out here if you know anything.
Yeah, Brad Parnell, if he's watching, he will know. So let's finish out with some more audience comments here. So Cartoon Commotion, Kate Hawkins does not agree with my timeline for the Flintstones being post-apocalyptic Jetsons. He says it's a fun theory, but Hanna-Barbera makes it untrue with the crossover. See, I don't know that I agree with that. But he does say, I do think Thundar works with the Jetsons timeline, though. See, I'm saying they're all interconnected. Ryan Permisson says, "Good morning, friends. The Jetsons movie and a few episodes I have watched on VHS as a kid." So, I need to see that Jetsons movie. I never saw it, but I need to put that on the list. And Zentron says, oh, there was talk, as we mentioned a moment ago, about a live actions Jetsons a while ago, but so far nothing has happened. Thank God. Let's not do that.
Yeah.
And then Cartoon Commotion says, actually, Yabba Dabba Dinosaurs, the cartoon, was pretty good. If the Jetsons was done the way I think I'd like that. But I'm with you, Johnny. No live action movie is required. Yeah, let's stay away from that.
Oh, correction real quick. It is 6.5. Elroy is 6.5.
Okay. He's still at 6.5. He's very mature. I thought he was 10. Dave Mattingly says Scooby Apocalypse is great, talking about the comic series, but my favorite was the new Flintstones. So the new Flintstones series was really good too. But Scooby Apocalypse is my favorite. And he says that comic, the Jetsons comic, plays out a lot like a Fantastic Four comic. Very good. Okay. I'm all in now. I'm all in. And Brad Parnell joins us to say future kids were just smarter. So a 6.5-year-old.
I really hope that is true.
Yeah, because
Is it one of those instant grow kids? Like, I don't know. All I know is Elroy was, like you said, Johnny, he was so smart. He was so smart. I don't understand. Like, there's yeah, the ages, like you said, Willow, it's a little like,
I'm as a retail worker, I do have to say this: the technology for debit machines has been around since the 70s, and it still trips people up, even kids today.
that is crazy. Andrew Milden says Judy was a teenager, Johnny. LOL. Well, when I was watching the Jetsons, I was a kid. Judy was the older woman in my life. So
very true.
So zip it, Milden. But he does say Pretty Hot Mamas needs to be on a t-shirt. Yeah. So Kelly Tupper is chiming in. How far from the magic show today? We should all have lunch there together.
Ooh.
It could maybe happen. I've got a lot to do beforehand, but maybe after. So we'll talk about that.
Have your people message our people.
Yeah. Matthew Mosley says the onesie got too warm, huh? Yes, it did. It did. And those of you who watched me escape from that straight jacket type device, you're welcome.
You weren't planning on seeing that in this morning.
Yeah.
Johnny.
Brad Parnell says Cogswell Coggs was an immortal. If you watch the Flintstones, you'll see that he was Mr. Slate. Who knows how many identities he had over the centuries?
I'm just saying, you're not far off there. You said that, and my brain went, "Oh my God,
yeah,
that's very possible."
Wait, let's see. Where's that picture? Where is he? Okay. Oh my God. Well, Mr. Slate was much slimmer, but that is Mr. Slate's face. Yeah.
I feel like they could be related.
Yeah,
I think
that
the
could
Jetsons
happen.
and the Flintstones call themselves cousin in the movie. I didn't rewatch the movie, but I watched it a lot. But yes. Oh, and Judy falls in love. And just so you know, Johnny asked me earlier, before we started, I think it was Johnny, about the music. The music. So Miss Judy Jetson, when she goes over, okay, she gives a song, Rockin' Round the Galaxy, to one singer. And then she goes to the Flintstones world and does her own band and does like Ooga, what was it? What do you call it, Johnny?
Ook eek aka.
Ook eek aka. Falls in love twice.
That's what it was.
I can see why you like Judy, because she was really the romantic.
Yeah, I love. Oh, and there was actually a movie, Rockin' with Judy Jetson, made in 1988. It was an animated made-for-television film, part of the Hanna Barbera Superstars 10 series.
I never saw that one.
Neither have I. We need to check that out.
Mm-hmm.
And the Jetsons and WWE Robo WrestleMania was actually 2017. Interesting. Oh, yeah. One of the live action versions that was in discussion in 2012, recording artist Kanye West was reported as a creative director over the good God in heaven.
I wasn't going to say that. He's not. They took that back. They said officially that was not the case. Just FYI.
Yeah. Well, thank the Lord. Now, Anish creatively says future kids were smarter than the present. Oh. And Zentron says Gen Z kids can barely name the countries above and below America. They can't even name the states. in America. But yeah, what country is below America? What that's a trick question, by the way. If I ask you what countries are below America, what would you name? Aubrey?
Mexico.
No.
Me?
Mexico is part of America.
Well, oh, right. Continent.
What's above and below the United States of America?
Yeah. I was gonna say there's North America and there's South America. It really is a trick question.
Yeah. Dave Mattingly says, Brad, that makes me think of the scene in Ender's Game where the teacher asks a class of 12-ish-year-olds a question that no one answers. Come on, people. This is just basic rocket science.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, they're being taught rocket science then? Okay. School systems, you gotta, it's time to speed it up.
Yep. Kelly Tupper says, yay. Dave Mattingly says, in one of the X-Files episodes from the final season, an alien UFO made Jetson sound effects. I did not know that, but that does not surprise me. And Brad Parnell says, Zentron, I would tend to agree, but I asked my niece's 12-year-old to name some countries in Africa, and he surprisingly reeled off a whole bunch. I think this needs to be an experiment today. I think I'm gonna experiment. So we are caught up on comments. Unbelievable.
See, I remember some of the toys that I do remember some Jetson toys from like McDonald's, I believe, or was there Burger King toys?
There was some kind of fast food toy, wasn't there?
Yeah. So McDonald's or Burger King did some Flintstone toys for sure.
Okay.
I can't remember if it was McDonald's or Burger King that came out with the Jetson stuff.
Well, here we go. I see the toys. They're available on eBay. I'm looking to see if it says what restaurant was the promotion. Jetson's Kid Meal toys, set of 6 complete. Let's see. They're pretty cool. No, that listing no longer exists. So let's see. Jetson fast food toys.
If you know in the comments, let us know if you've got some insights.
Yeah, none of these listings say what restaurant they were a promotion for. Just Wendy's.
Ooh.
Wendy's did them.
All right, you go Wendy's with your futuristic toy fun.
Ooh, so McDonald's did a Mr. Peabody and Sherman bobblehead. Ooh, I need that. I need that. Hey, tell me if you can still hear me. Check one.
We hear you.
Check one. Check.
You're live on the air.
You can still hear me right now?
Yeah.
But I can't hear you. Doggone it. Something's going on with my system. All right. So
StreamYard.
And Brad Parnell says, no, it's in my laptop. I updated to Windows 11. Worst decision I've ever made. Anyway, Funko has a whole bunch of Jetsons figures. My friend has a YouTube channel for pop figures and is a huge fan of Elroy and even has an Elroy tattoo. All right.
Oh, cool.
Well, Zentron reminds us that Dungeons & Dragons cartoon 40th anniversary is next month. We've already covered Dungeons & Dragons, but maybe we'll need to do a special 40th anniversary. We'll see. All right. So, unbelievable. We're caught up with comments. It's only 9 minutes past the hour, which is good because I got a ton of stuff I got to do before the show today. So I'm going to need to run.
And your mic is having a revolt against you there, Johnny. It's sounding kind of robotic.
Oh, is it?
And I've got to get ready too, actually.
So we're going to go ahead and call it. Oh, this is Mel Blanc, the voice of Spacely Sprocket. He looks like Mr. Spacely.
Just a little bit,
yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and close out the show here. But what am I talking about this show? Today and next Saturday, I'm doing Beyond Smoke and Mirrors, performing is Johnny Beyond at the Palace Theater in Gallatin, Tennessee, 1:00 matinee today and next Saturday. Anyone who shows up dressed as a princess or a prince or superhero gets in free. Dun, dun, dun. And we are giving away free tickets to active duty police, EMS, and military and their entire families. So if you are active duty, come on out, bring the whole family, make it a day. So with that, we want to thank our Cereal Box Super Friends, Kate Hawkins, Eli Cash, Cindy Kep, Sharice Collins, Dave Mattingly. They help make this show happen. And you can contribute as well at buymeacoffee.com/cerealboxpod. And Willow, tell folks where they can follow, find, and support you.
All right. You can find me all over social media. I am the social media socialite. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, sometimes, Instagram, and TikTok.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Miss Aubrey, where can people follow, find, and support you?
You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Dawning Even K. And yeah, just say hi and talk to me about what you guys want to see in the future. And if you want to say hi at a con, don't be shy. And I will be seeing you later, Johnny.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will. And you can follow me at johnnybeyond.com. Follow our show at backofthecerealbox.fun. That's backofthecerealbox.fun. And if you guys haven't heard the news, this week we actually charted at number 24 on the Apple Podcast charts. So we are officially a hit podcast. So wherever you're watching, listening, or consuming, like, comment, share, tell people about the show. Help us hit number 1. Break the top 10. That would be awesome. And until the next time, love you, mean it. We'll catch you on the back of the cereal box.